With the comedy Why Him running in cinemas now, it's time to take a look at one of Hollywood's busiest and versatile men. Artist, actor, director, producer, author, teacher, and seemingly permanent student. How does James Franco find time to do it all?
I do a lot, but, it's really the way that I get the most out of life.
The multi-talented James grew up in the small California town of Palo Alto. As a child, he was a math genius, but became something of a bad boy in high school, finding himself in trouble with the law.
I got into a little bit of trouble when I was in high school, and so there was a period when I had to stop hanging out with certain friends, and so I'd stay home on the weekends.
At the age of 18, he dropped out of college to pursue a career in acting, quickly landing a role on the cult hit TV series Freaks and Geeks. The show was cancelled after just one season, but Franco landed on his feet. He bagged a title role in a biopic about troubled 1950s teen star James Dean, for which he received a Golden Globe Award. But he truly became a household name in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. Although he auditioned for the role of the titular hero, James was cast as Harry Osborn, the son of the villainous Green Goblin. Playing troubled youths had become something of a speciality for the talented actor.
I've learned that actually one of the keys that I didn't know when I was younger is to be able to relax into a character.
Franco reprised his role in 2 Spider-Man sequels, which were very successful, but he had loftier ambitions than appearing in superhero flicks. After a string of his artier projects flopped, however, the quirky star made an unusual choice. He returned to college, discovering that he loved learning.
If I had more than 30 seconds, I will just read my book so I don't have to think about where I am, but I don't get 30 seconds.
He graduated in just 2 years and quickly moved to the East Coast, where he enrolled in no less than 4 graduate programs, 2 in fiction writing, 1 in poetry, and 1 in filmmaking, which led him into directing.
When I was only an actor, people would ask me, well, what's your dream role? And I would say, oh, I'd love to play the poet Hart Crane. But I'd sit around and wait for somebody to make the movie of Hart Crane because I couldn't make it myself, and nobody would make it. So once I went through film school, it was like, oh, now's the time. You want to make the movie about Hart Crane? Then you do it.
Back in LA, however, James's acting career had suddenly taken off. He earned a second Golden Globe nomination for his role as a drug dealer in the comedy Pineapple Express, and then, to cement his new position on the A-list, there was 127 Hours. In 2010, having received his master's degree, James went one better and started working on a PhD program at Yale. He also began teaching in filmmaking and English at several colleges.
I teach at a few places. I teach in the film schools as well, and in those programs I usually do classes that are production-based, so they end up making films.
On screen, James continued to wow audiences, appearing in the medieval comedy Your Highness, the sci-fi thriller Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Harmony Korine's teen crime flick Spring Breakers, again playing a drug dealer, but a much darker one this time.
I think Harmony just did, an amazing job with casting. He picked all the right people.
And he must like working with Mila Kunis, because he joined her for the 3rd time in Oz the Great and Powerful, a prequel to the famous Wizard of Oz. That year also saw the release of one of his most successful efforts as a director, an adaptation of William Faulkner's As I Lay Dying. In late 2014, however, Franco and his frequent collaborator Seth Rogen came dangerously close to starting World War III with their controversial comedy The Interview. As a vapid talk show host and his producer enlisted by the CIA to assassinate North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, the pair managed to enrage an entire country and inspire a massive hack of Sony Pictures in an attempt to prevent the film's release. But Franco and Rogen refused to be intimidated.
One of the biggest lessons I learned after I reunited with Seth on Pineapple Express is that you can actually make movies with your friends, have fun doing it, and still make really good movies.
And the busy star continues to make numerous movies a year with his friends, in all kinds of capacities. Among the highlights of 2015 was working on a surprise project with Jonah Hill called True Story. And he recently joined Bryan Cranston in the family comedy Why Him? From teen heartthrob to artsy auteur, James Franco has followed a surprising path through the movie industry. His strength as an actor only continues to grow, and his writing and directing seem to be headed in the same direction. One thing's for sure, just don't expect him to slow down anytime soon.
I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where what I do for a living is what I love. I mean, it's
what could be better than that? And so I don't need a vacation from that. I don't want to get away from that. I don't, you know, I love it.